the brands you're watching, you don't know what the you're talking about. Exactly. That's why you're watching this video, bitch. Now share it with your company and pay the attention. Pull up or shut up.
Exactly.
Like, that's what it's about.
Exactly. That's the tea. Hi, my name is Sharon, and I'm the founder and CEO of Uoma Beauty. And I believe that makeup is a one-size-fits-all.
Hey guys, it's PatrickStarrr. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are with a queen, the founder of Uoma Beauty.
Hi guys.
We're with Miss Sharon Chuter, the CEO, beautiful founder,
director,
all the
troublemaker.
Okay, but girl, we have caused some trouble today with this face because you are painted for the back row.
Oh my
we
God.
are featuring today Black-owned beauty brands. It's been a while, but I really wanted to come back right.
And he snapped.
Oh, thank you. We did full glamour, lashes top and bottom, hair by my girlfriend Kat Brim, styled by the fabulous Kai St. Lawrence, and we feature them also on my social media, so be sure to check them out. We are doing a beat face. We are sparking conversation. We are talking about Black-owned businesses. We are talking about how brands can pay the attention to make a difference in your business. So if you're a corporate brand, CEO, CMO, CFO, all the above, please share this video with your whole business and team so we can be accountable for creating a difference in today's world. I'm so honored to have worked with you. If you guys want to see how we do this beautiful, I can't stop staring at her. If you guys want to see how we do this beautiful beat face, if you guys want to see how we do this beautiful beat face, subscribe and don't forget that. And don't forget that makeup is a one size fits all. All right, let's get into it.
Let's take you to church.
All right, amen. All right, guys. Again, we have the founder of Uoma Beauty, Queen Tings only, on this first video back. Welcome to my channel.
Thank you.
Are you so gagged?
I know I am. It's my first time on any channel.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I'm a YouTube virgin. I'm about to pop right here.
Oh my gosh. But guys, again, follow Sharon Chuter. Amazing. Beautiful. You saw the intro, but let's get right into this beat face and
thank you.
Let's paint you. Are you ready? It's been a while, girl. We're coming out of quarantine.
I know. Everybody's looking feral.
No nails.
No nails.
Hair.
Nothing. No lashes. Eyebrows are a bit fuzzy. So that's why we've got the star beating my face back to life. So let's see how we go.
All right, guys, so the first product we're going to take is the Say What foundation in the color. What color is she? This is brown sugar.
Exactly.
Brown sugar. And
that came from my D'Angelo song. I want some of your brown sugar.
Okay.
That's me. Everybody wants some of this brown sugar, but anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Today, we're using this foundation. I love this foundation. And speaking of foundation, let's talk about your business foundation. And I want you guys to really understand and learn from one of the most inspirational people that I have met in this industry and a powerhouse. And if you're a brand, by the way, if you're a brand and you just sneaking and peeking and watching, share this with your whole company because you are going to learn today, okay? Y'all need to take notes, okay? Send it, flash it to your whole corporate company because today we're going to learn so much about business. And for all of you guys out there that want to start your own business, I have 3 P's, other than PatrickStarrr. So we're going to talk about planning.
Yes.
We're going to talk about personifying. And we're going to talk about performing.
I love that.
And what that means to you. I love that. I think you have to plan, you have to personify to tell your own story, and then also perform. And so the people can really get it. And that's what you've done with Uoma, which I really admire.
And I quite like that because I think, of course, planning is everything. When I was younger, my mother used to always say, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So regardless of whether you're planning or you're not planning, you're planning something. You're either planning success or you're planning failure. And I really like that. Like for me, I always say, talking about foundation, right? The foundation of everything is intent. What do you want to get out of it? Like a lot of kids come to me and, it's like, oh my God, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm like, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. All you should know is the intent of your life and purpose. Like, what is your higher purpose? What is your calling? What makes you happy? You know, is it making money? Is it making other people happy? Is it living in service of others? Mm-hmm. And that's always the base of your planning, right? And then everything gets personified in terms of making that plan a reality. For me, with my story on Uoma, you know, which is a good talking about planning and personifying it. For me, all I've ever wanted to do in life was just to contribute to making the world a better place. I've always been.
But where did you start? Tell the kids so they
Yeah.
know to listen up and why you know what you know, because a lot of kids may not know where you come from.
Yes.
And I think it's really important because when I say she is a credible, authentic source for me, it's because of her experience. And that's one thing I think when you want to become credible in the industry, with what we do, there's no there's college degrees, but there's no
nobody
degree.
can teach you this
no
stuff.
one can
I'm
teach
telling
you.
you. Look, y'all, you go to college as a social experience, to be honest. I think college and schooling and all of that prepares you just for life in general, in terms of interacting with other people, but nothing prepares you for a life of, especially not a life of a founder or a business owner. There is no degree that's going to prepare you, because every day is a surprise. And, you know, like for me, my life started in Nigeria. You know, I was raised in Nigeria. When I was younger, I was a gifted kid, right? So when you're a gifted kid, people put you in a box. You know, I finished high school and I was barely 15. And so my parents had a really good plan for me. I was supposed to become an aeronautical engineer. Yeah, oh, come on. All the Nigerians who, like, in your comment section, y'all know how it works. If you're Nigerian, you can be a lawyer, doctor, engineer, or failure. So I was already set to be an aeronautical engineer because it sounded really good. And when I was going to college, I was torn with myself because I was a creative. If you're creative, you shouldn't be academic. And if you're academic, you can't be creative. But what if you're both? You know, and that was me. Like, I was both. I was academic and I was creative, and that created a tension, right? And the other problem that happens is when you're younger, everything you're being taught is to conform. You know what I mean? Like, if you conform, you're popular. If you're different, you're weird. And it's so interesting. And then when you grow up, you actually realize it's the opposite. The weirdos end up ruling the world, right? So it's almost like this weird thing. So for me, you know, I started my life and I wanted to be a singer, even though I was creative and gifted, right? And you can imagine how my parents loved that. They didn't. I sort of like had that kind of friction. And so I dropped out of university to go be a singer because I wanted to be Beyonce.
Okay.
I wanted to be Beyonce. I saw Whitney Houston sing, and I was
But
like,
you know, can we just take a pause really quick? She is the Beyonce of the beauty industry.
Oh,
Really
stop
quick,
that.
I swear. Really quick, you did start Pull Up or Shut Up and Pull Up for Change, which we'll get to a little bit later. I'm sure y'all are wondering what she's been up to, but you've been an advocate for keeping brands accountable.
Accountability is everything,
If
right?
you guys want to be inclusive, this is the thing. If you guys want to follow the Instagram page, follow it. But I think it's important for brands to really step into what they stand for, but also behind the scenes in their executive chairs. And I think it's important.
And that's what we talk about, you know, when you talk about personify, you know, like, you know, with my story going from being a musician and wanting to go down that path, but everything I've always done in life has always been about social justice. So that's why I was unpopular. You know, I was the kid who got beat up all the time. I had my jaw broken, ribs broken, everything broken because I've got a mouth on me. Oh, child, I have a mouth. That's why Pull Up for Change was organic for me, you know, like nobody had a script before that stuff because I've always had a mouth. And, you know, so for me, it was that purpose. My purpose in life has always been to speak for people who didn't have a voice, has always been to stand up when things are not popular. You know, I've never been the popular one. I've never wanted to be the popular one. I've always wanted to be the one who's doing things that I believe is right. And that's guided me through everything. You know, my journey from trying to be a singer and then getting to a point and going like, I actually love beauty, right? Because beauty was one place where I could be creative and I could be academic in the business of beauty. And so I packed up the whole singing biz.
So this was a part of your plan. Guys,
Exactly.
remember, if you guys want to start a business, I think planning is essential. Like you said, failing to plan is planning to fail.
It's planning to fail.
So this was a part of your plan.
Exactly. And it's like that coming of age.
But where did that come from? Did it come from God? Did it come from your parents? Like, of course you're going, like obviously you're Nigerian, your parents pretty much have a plan for you while you're in the womb.
Their plan was me to be an engineer.
Right. And I was, if you guys didn't know, like my parents, I'm Filipino, so my parents wanted me to be a nurse.
There you go.
So, I mean, y'all Filipino, y'all resonate with me. So, like, in a synopsis.
But you know what? To be great, you have to break your parents' heart. You know what I mean? Because parents always want you to play safe. They want the best for you. And sometimes you just have to break their heart a little bit. And that's what I did, you know, in terms of this is what you want me to do, but I want purpose. I want something beyond. And that sent me into beauty. And it's also what sent me out of the beauty industry in terms of corporate, because I went in there to make people feel good about themselves. Beauty is a transformative tool. You know, the power of it just transforms you. You know, when you're not confident in yourself, you pop that red lipstick and bitch, you can like take over the world. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's the power of beauty. And I found that if we're in an industry that can only give that power to certain people and not others, that's not a fair world, is it? You know, can you imagine going through life and never feeling like you're beautiful? You know, this is the reality for many Black women, because from when you're born, you're told at a young age you're different, but not different good. You're different bad.
So where do you get it then? If someone is at home watching and they don't know where to get, you told me this big V word.
Yes.
Vigilance.
Yes, exactly.
And how do we get that from thin air? Like where
you
does
have
it
to
come
find it in yourself. And that's why I always go like the first thing to do, the first step to anything is purpose. It's about what makes me happy. When I wake up in the morning, you know, I always tell people, whether it's a business or career, what is the thing you're going to do that even if you were poor, you'll still do? If you can figure that out, that's the $1 million question. What will I do that even if I were poor and I was on the street, I will still have a smile on my face doing that because I truly enjoy it. And that's where the whole purpose comes in. And then after that, then you can go ahead and plan. You know, and sometimes you make that stuff up. Sometimes you figure it out. You start remembering all the moments where you're happy. And for me, here's what I found out from a young age. I am happy when I feel free. That's it. If I don't feel free, I'm not happy. So whatever I'm doing in life, if it doesn't make me feel free or it's not enabling anybody to feel free, I am doing it, period. I don't care how much I'm getting paid for it. So I think that sort of find your North Star. Once you find that North Star, grab onto it and just run. The most important thing is, especially for any minority or marginalized group, is just knowing that you can be, period. Like you can be, you figure out what you want to be and then plan for it and just do it. Don't spend time thinking about what people are saying to you. Don't spend time thinking about, you know, people think I'm not good enough. You know, we talked about this, Patrick, you know, your experiences, even with yourself when you were working, you know, I mean, you were a guy working at a counter who's now a boss. Right? You can be whatever. Like, just don't even focus on other people and focus on yourself. And then that's where like personifying it comes. You know, you think about it, you figure out what your purpose, what your vision is in life, and then you just start doing it. And the most important thing in doing it is just wake up every morning and show up.
When I say queen tings, okay? When I say queen tings, what is your early career stages? Because I know you were at an executive level.
I was an executive at Benefit Cosmetics. And before that, when I got into beauty, I worked with L'Oreal. You know, and then I got bored in beauty and went and worked with Pepsi because I wanted people to take me seriously.
See, she's dropping big names. And I want her to do this because it's honesty, it's experience. And these are all businesses that we all know.
Yeah.
I love me some Pepsi.
You love some Pepsi.
Know, and
Not when Coke is not available? She better don't.
See, we can't do this thing. Uoma Beauty. We're using Uoma. By the way, if you guys are wondering, I'm flashing all the products on the side. I'm using the Uoma Woke Concealer.
Stay woke,
looking
guys.
Beautiful. Stay woke. And which one is this called? This is the
It's the Hey Big Head.
The Hey Big Head. Okay.
Sponge, huh?
This was probably named after me. Look, don't this look like PatrickStarrr? Girl. This looks like me low key right here.
You dead.
But okay, so you've worked at these large brands, and so by association, you were able to see people that were passionate at what they did, because obviously they're big. These brands are big for a reason, and you saw people really doing their thing.
I went into PepsiCo because of Indira Nooyi. She was the first woman to ever take over as CEO of Pepsi, and she was an Indian woman, and she was an immigrant. And because she was, I felt like I could be. And it was quite disappointing that when I got there, you know, I never worked under her. I was in a completely different market. But, you know, the culture was so, you know, Anglo-centric, you know, it was so masculine. You know, I always say to people always ask me about my corporate life and go, oh my God, how come you thrived to corporate? I was like, I didn't thrive, I survived. I survived through corporate. It's brutal. It is not friendly when you're different.
And that's honest truth. And how many years would you say you've been in that world? How many?
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
Over
and
a
so
decade.
You would think that there would have been change within a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. Not even within the decade that you were.
No, it's
and
not.
And what year, if you don't mind share, what year was this?
I left corporate in 2017. So that was not that long ago.
And we are in 2020.
Right? And that was why I left, because like you said, I came into beauty because it's this place where you could feel free, you could be creative, you could express yourself. It made you feel good. You could take on whatever personality you wanted to take, you know. I could be whoever I want to be, you know, on different days. And to come into the industry and see it just being so non-inclusive.
Because there were already barometers set.
Exactly. This is what it needs to be,
You know. You just got to perform and color within the lines.
You have to color. There is no room for coloring outside the lines.
So, personifying, coloring outside of the lines.
Exactly.
Uoma Beauty, how did it start?
Oh my God. So it started from, once again, me just being very frustrated. I was within companies, you know, you're talking all the time. How we have concealers in 3 shades. I mean, that's insulting to every woman, not just black women, not just Asian women. You know, it's insulting to every woman. Within these organizations, they're just not willing to listen. It's sort of like they're listening, but they're not hearing you. And I realized that I cannot fix this thing from the inside. No matter how high I go, even if I became the overall CEO, which is not going to happen because the company I work for, they don't even have any person of color on their board. No drop of, like, it's a 1-drop rule out there. So I'm like, okay. So I decided, hey, you know what? Put your money where your mouth is. Talk is cheap. If you want change, be the change you want to see. And once again, if I'm not prepared to be poor for what I believe in, then I don't really believe in it. And that was why I went out to set up my own brand. It was a place, of course, like if you want change, but you don't really have change.
We need to put the crown emoji right here, Queen Ting.
But for real, if you only want change, if it's convenient and if it's going to make you rich, you don't want change. And that's why I go, you have to think of something to do that you're so passionate about, you do not care about the consequences. It's like right now when I set up Put Up for Change, that could have wrecked my whole brand. I was challenging the entire industry that I live in. My products are only sold at Ulta, other than my website. And I like literally put them on blast. Like, you're kidding me? You know what I mean? But that's the thing when you have purpose, you don't really care anymore. You just think about this is the right thing to do and you do it. So that was me setting up Uoma. I just wanted to go out there and create a home for everybody who's been left out.
So what would you give advice to girls and boys and black magic and black boy joys at home? What would you say to them to personify and color outside of the lines? If they feel they don't have the means to, what would you say?
That you always have the means to. The biggest gift you can give yourself is believe in yourself. That's the biggest gift. Everything else will come if you believe in yourself. Believe in yourself and show up. And don't listen to anything people tell you. You know, everybody talks about, oh, you know, you're going to have limitation. And that's true. You're going to have it, but don't focus on it.
But discipline will come over time.
And that's a part of showing up every day. Because guess what? There are many mornings you wake up, you don't want to get out of bed. You know, I would say here, a lot of my mornings, I've had mornings where I wake up and put the duvet over my hair and cry my eyes out. That's the reality.
And when I tell you, I called her one day, and that was that. But she was talking to another corporate, and she's like, I didn't get on FaceTime for them, but for you. And I was like, okay, so that's like it's real, and I saw it firsthand.
Yeah, exactly. You have to. Every day is tough, you know. So you have to build that resilience. You have to understand that, you know, whether people like it or not, if you're from any marginalized group, life is going to be a bit tougher. That's just reality. And that's why we're fighting. That's why we set up Pull Up for Change. That's why we're doing these things to make sure that for the next generation, that's no longer the reality of you having to work 10 times as hard as everybody else. Whether it's, you know, you create a brand. You know, when I created my brand, I was celebrating all the people who've been left out. I would get given advice because when you go to Selfridges, we have this big blown up images of these beautiful black women. We have white women, we have Asian, we have everything. But people were so not happy because we had 4 black women in the frame. And so it was like, oh, there are way too many black people in the photo.
Who wasn't happy?
A lot of people.
Okay.
A lot of people. Like even customers will run past the counter like they've seen a ghost. And you were in Selfridges, for God's sake. There was nothing threatening about being in Selfridges. And so, you know, it's just the reality of where we are now. And that's where we all can make a change. You know, we all have to check our own biases. We all have to look deep and ask ourselves very tough questions. Why does seeing a big image of a black woman put you off and make you run away? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm excited about this moment. It's a moment for honesty. It's a moment for us all to have very tough conversations. And it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to make the world what we want it to be. And if we miss that opportunity, we're never going to have it again. or probably it's going to take another 50 years, right? So I think that's why I get excited about what's going on at the moment and the movements. And so for every Black kid who's out there, any kid of color, any marginalized kid, anybody from any groups that have been pushed out, you just really need to believe in yourself, because you're going to have many people telling you every step of the way you can't. And don't expect that you're going to have another person telling you can. You have to always be that voice saying, I can, and you have to stand with that because you can.
But it is normal, I will ask, because we have something called dealing with doubt.
Yes.
Okay. I've had it even when I was asked to do my MAC collaborations, not just one collection, but 5 for over a year. I had imposter syndrome. I was like, I don't know if this is right for me. And I'm sure you've had the same,
we all have imposter syndrome.
Yes.
Dealing
with doubt. So how do you face the music and just go?
Make it up as you go. Let me tell you, my whole life I've been waiting to go into a room where people actually know what they're doing, right? We all don't know what we're doing. That's the trick right there. Everybody who
that's okay. That's okay.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't know what you're doing, it's okay.
But here's the point. Nobody knows what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Everyone
you don't know what you're doing.
Shit. They don't know the brands you're watching. You don't know what the you're talking about. That's why you're watching this video, bitch. Now share it with your company and pay the attention. Pull up or shut up.
Exactly.
That's what it's about.
Exactly. That's the key. That nobody tells you. Fear is real. We're all afraid. Everybody's afraid. I'm sure Beyonce was petrified before she walked on that Coachella stage. We all afraid. We all don't know what we're doing, but we just show up, right? You have to show up every day. Just show up.
But also too, let me check y'all really quick. If y'all are watching this and y'all are holding up that phone and you have a roof over your head, you've gotten this far to press play and to take action, and you guys are showing up to this video. So that's the first step, I think.
Exactly. It's the first step. You have to show up. You have to show up. You have to be your own cheerleader, even when your own head is telling you you're not good enough. Because guess what? Your head's going to tell you that more than other people. Your head's going to tell you, because your head knows your history, you know, more than other people. It's going to I'm a girl from a little town in Nigeria called Warri. Nobody even knows what that is. It is off the grid. You know what I mean? Everybody keeps talking about, Harlem is, the hood. No, that's not the hood. Warri is the hood. And your head is the thing that's going to remind you that all the time. What do you know about the subject? When I wanted to set up my business, it was, why will anybody listen to you? You're not a famous person. You're not a makeup artist. What credibility do you have to own a beauty brand?
This is all real.
This is real.
What you had.
This is my head. This is literally not even anybody telling me. This was my head. So imagine where you go into the room to go raise money, and the person says to you, and literally this happened to me too. They said to me, it would be good for you if you came in with a white middle-aged man, because it would give you credibility. And I'm not making that stuff up. An investor said that to me to my face without blinking, going, I really like you, but here's the problem, So firstly, you got the problem when you're a woman, and then when you're Black, you got a double whammy. Here's the thing. It was, women tend to break down. So when I went to raise money, everybody kept asking me, are you married? They were asking me so much, family kind of questions. And I was wondering, why are they doing that? But they were trying to figure out, is your husband going to tell you one day, don't do this, and you're going to be like, yes, sir, and then pack up my money kind of thing. So even though the idea was amazing, they were all blown away. And this is the thing, right? They were blown away by the idea. I had the product. There was nothing for them to argue about, right? I had the retailer already. It was like, it's all done, right? I have a multi-million purchase order from the retailer. It's all done, right? And still, it was like, it would be better if you had a white male with you. It would just give people more confidence, and you're going to be able to raise money. So I made a whole point of not having a middle-aged white man with me.
Let's talk about dealing with that. If someone tells you to your face, how would someone that's wanting to make a difference and taking the step, and then here is this stop sign?
Yeah, to be honest.
How did you deal with that at that moment? Because the girls need to know.
Y'all, I was feeling sorry for him, to be honest. I was just like, dude, you don't have any idea how wrong you are. I did not take money from him. Right now, I just enjoy knowing that he just sits there, he's crying, that, he's not part of this. And I think, for me, it drives me when people doubt me, because it just puts a fire. I love it when people underestimate me. It's a beautiful thing. So I would just go let them be ignorant and prove their ignorance wrong with your actions. You know what I mean? Because right now, with my story and with my success, I've just taught that man something, right? I've taught him that a black woman can make it on her own without a middle-aged white man being next to her. So hopefully now he's learned a lesson and he will never say that to anybody else. For me, like the queen says, the best revenge is your paper, right?
Oh.
So that's your best revenge. It's your best revenge. So when people doubt you, just move on and keep doing your stuff. Like, just keep doing it, because guess what? The same people who doubted you will be calling you. And I'm a living testament to that. I'm sure you're the living testament to that. The same people who weren't talking to you, who wouldn't take your calls, who wouldn't respond to you, who told you to your face, this is all garbage, right? They're going to be the same ones, and they're really good at changing up very quickly. Hey, like, I've never seen you before. I'm like, yo, you know, I remember, right? But you know what? Such is life. You know, there's a lot of ignorance going on. So literally, don't let, you know, the way I see it, I always tell people, right? My life has been like running a race. When I run, I don't look left or right. I just focus on myself and my pace. And that's always been me. I'm very self-critical. You know, I'm always like, you're not running fast enough. Faster, faster, faster. Oh my God, you're losing the race. And then I get to the finish line and I can't see anybody. I'm like, oh, see, I came last, only to turn back and see people are still on the 50-meter line. You know, like, I not only was first, I was first by a mile, because I wasn't turning around looking at other people. I was just focused on me and being the best I can be. And that's how I see life. It's not a competition between me and anybody else. It's all about me, you know, getting old, if I have the privilege to live that long, and just going, you know what? It was a great life. You know what I mean? It's all about me. It's not about other people. It's not about what they're doing. And that's always been my philosophy. I focus on me, and I would tell everybody, focus on you, you know, and trust you. The more you trust you, the more you're going to trust you. Trust your intuition, trust your gut. And that's why when you have purpose, you'll be able to do crazy stuff like quit your high-paying job to go to go and set up a brand when you're not a celebrity or a makeup artist and have no credibility in a completely new market you've never lived in, and still find your way. You can do anything that you set your mind to, and that's what I want every person who's ever heard no. No is good. No is character building. I'm telling you, the best gift you're gonna get is hearing no all the time, because it teaches you so much. It teaches you so much. It builds your character. Success comes from a field of failure. No successful person is a success. We're just really good at failing. You know, gotta fail, because I see life's a classroom. It's a master class. You go into a new course, you learn it. When you're learning it, you're at the bottom. That's what we call failure. But no, you're just at the beginner level of a new course. And then you learn that, and then you get to the top of that. But guess what? To learn something new, you've got to come all the way back down again. And that's why life is like that, isn't it? It's not like a linear path up. So I think we have to embrace failure. But each time you fail, learn from it, because it's a class. It's just taught you something, and it just makes you even better and stronger. So yeah, that's,
oh my
failure
gosh.
is a good one, right? Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? This is awesome. And I hope you guys are learning and taking notes, because this is a masterclass. And guess what? It's free. I ain't charging y'all to do this. So consider it a favor from PatrickStarrr, Sharon Chuter.
But you know what? I always say that about books, right? When I was younger, I spent so much time reading about, I love biographies, because you learn in a day what it took somebody a whole lifetime to learn, just like that.
So we're getting a book.
Y'all, one day.
We're shooting the cover today, by the way.
Exactly, I know, right? One day, when I got time, like, that's the thing. Because I'm so passionate, I do a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm doing Uoma Beauty, and then I jump in and go do pull up for change because I'm upset with the state of the world.
Now we're in the performing stage now.
Exactly.
Like, this is part of the performance.
It's part of performing, exactly. Yeah. Like, you're out there now. You're taking action. You know, you're taking action, and remember now your action is being guided by all that plan, all that purpose, and now you're just in there, you're just working it, right? I'm 247, I'm always on, and everybody goes, yo, don't you get tired, and la la la. I'm like, sometimes my physical body is tired, but my energy is still high, because it's like, yo, there is so much to be done. And, you know, this world is not a nice place at the moment for everybody. So until the world becomes a good place for everybody, then I'm going to start sleeping. But for now, y'all, I'm going to, you know, stay on it. But it's the passion and that drive that just energizes you. It fuels you, you know, and you end up doing crazy stuff, like, you know, challenging every corporate in America to disclose their employee numbers. You know, like, it's purpose, because you're not thinking about consequences. You're thinking about what's right. And what's right is that we have a fair world for everybody, and we do not have a fair world. And to everybody who's watching this, who was lucky enough and privileged enough to be in a place where you're not feeling the injustices, where, you know, you've always been, you know, things that are basic to you. Like, I just walk in, I just buy foundation, right? I just buy lipstick. It's not a big deal, right? Even in this time, people are still making that money and begging to spend it. Can you think about that? We're begging to be able to spend it. You know, people are still begging to feel human. And so I think it's everybody's obligation that we are in tune with the times we live in. And the times we live in is times of inequality, and everybody can play a role. So if you're a person who's never felt anything I'm talking about and you don't relate to it, thank your lucky stars and then do something about it to make sure that other people can have that idyllic experience that you've had. You know what I mean? Like, you have to do something with it. So stay in your purpose, keep going. Don't listen to the naysayers, but don't run away from them either. They're good.
All right, guys, I've done the brows off camera because we were just having a chatty Cathy time. And I hope you guys are learning so much. I'm having so much fun, but now it's onto the eyeshadow. But girl,
I know.
can we talk about the branding of Uoma God? Like,
What
Uoma
can we
Beauty.
say? I mean,
I love these palettes. Thank you for having me in your campaign earlier
No,
this year, before the
absolutely.
Rona and the COVID and all. That was so fun. I shot it with Jackie. We had an amazing time, and I was so honored. And we were
Yeah.
able to honor other influencers also after. And
exactly. You know, with all our palettes, with Uoma, people don't realize I tell stories. I tell cultural stories. So this is the story of a Yoruba goddess called Yamoya, and this is my vision of what she would have looked like if I had seen her. And she's like the mother of gods.
And I love that you have like little sayings on the inside. 50% class, 20% sass, 100% fabulous.
100% fabulous.
I love
Thank
it.
you,
You can see
darling.
that this palette is loved and used.
Yes.
I love it. Talk to me about your brand and what Uoma stands for.
Yes. I mean, Uoma means beautiful. Uoma was a moment for me to, one, I wanted to make everybody feel okay being themselves. And as such, I had to be myself through the brand. Uoma was therapy for me. When I left corporate, I was broken. I was a shadow of myself. I couldn't braid my hair because it was considered ghetto.
What?
I had to change how I spoke. I had to change my damn name. Does Sharon Chuter sound like a Nigerian name to you?
No way.
Have you ever met a Nigerian called Sharon Chuter?
So introduce your birth name.
My birth name? I was born Uoma Sharon Jemidafe. See how you can't pronounce that stuff?
Okay.
Exactly. So that's not a very sexy name for resume, and I never got a call back, you know. So I moved my middle name to my first name, and I actually did that quite early in life, to be honest. And then I married, and then didn't change my name back. I was like, I'm keeping it. When we got divorced, I'm like, yeah, I'm keeping the name. It yields benefits, you know. So Uoma was an opportunity for me to reclaim my identity. That's why I used my language. Uoma means beautiful. It means beautiful in Igbo language, and I love when I see the whole world saying Uoma. It's so emotional for me because it's my language. And I wanted through this brand for everybody to know that they are beautiful. Regardless of what the world says to you, you are beautiful because beauty is whatever you want it to be. Beautiful is inside out. You do not need makeup to be beautiful. I see a lot of people say, oh, I can't leave my house without makeup. Well, you should be able to leave your house without makeup. I love myself when I'm glam. I love myself when I'm not glam because at the end of the day, at the core of me, I am me. And if I needed makeup to make myself feel good or beautiful or worthy, I don't need makeup, I need a shrink, right? And you got to be very clear about that stuff. So for me, through Uoma, that's what I want. I want people to feel good. I want people to be free. Like, I feel beautiful when I feel free. I want everybody to feel free. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to hide who you are. You don't have to change nothing. You can express yourself, whether it's being colorful, whether it's being simple, whatever it is. It's a free world. I mean, unless you're killing nobody, like, it should be okay. And that's what I wanted Uoma to be. And through Uoma, I tell a lot of cultural stories. I use Uoma to celebrate my heritage whilst inviting everybody to come and enjoy these beautiful stories that are often not told. Everybody, like through the eyeshadow palettes, everybody knows the Greek gods.
Yeah,
everybody
so
knows
the
Norse gods.
So we have
That's
this one-
Yamoya.
Yamoya.
That's her name.
And then which one is this one? This
And
one is...
this is Allure, but this is the goddess called Oshun. I mean, you just heard Beyonce's song. She said Oshun in that song. So y'all learned that one. And this palace called Savage, but this goddess is called Oya. And she's the inspiration behind Storm in X-Men that was played by Halle Berry.
Okay,
Yeah, she's the goddess of
education.
lightning. Exactly. She's badass. Like, I mean,
We gotta do a Storm makeover for you on my channel.
oh
okay?
yeah. Y'all think I can be fierce? I think I can do fierce. For me, it's about togetherness. You know, it's not about, oh, are you Afro-Caribbean? Are you Afro-Nigerian? Are you African-American? We're all from the same mother. Like, you know what I mean? We're all one. And so when I tell my stories, I bring people that I know are legitimately living that life together, right? For me, it's about sharing my culture. You know, it's a shared culture. I'm curating the story and I'm inviting people to come and share in this Afro fabulousness, Afro richness, Afro experience. You know, like, you know, sometimes I just love it when I talk about, you know, being black. I'm like, is that blackness? There's just something really rhythmic about it. I play with that through products. And yeah, even my Carnival palette, the celebrated Carnival, paid homage to Trinidad being like the greatest, you know, that's the greatest show on earth, man. We gotta like get a whole crew together and go to them.
That shit was so fun, and I was honored to honor your palette and everything, and
yeah,
that's authenticity too.
No, it is all the way through the collection. Whether it's our lipsticks, badass icons, which just celebrates like badass women. Because guess what? Well-behaved girls seldom make history. So I am celebrating people who were rule breakers. You know, they created their own lane. They didn't like come into your lane. They created the whole damn lane. Everything that we do is about celebration of culture. You know, Browfro, the brow products that we've got on right now, was a celebration of the 70s and the freedom of the 70s.
Yes, your disco party.
Yeah, y'all saw my disco party, and it was a celebration of the liberation of that period. You know, I called it Browfro because the fro used to be this thing that was undesirable. You come into the 70s and the disco era, and the Afro came into pop culture. Everybody was rocking a fro. Cher was rocking a fro, and you know, that's the fun way we can share our culture and celebrate it. Everything we do is activism. Everything we do is encouraging a world of togetherness where we need to celebrate our differences, but we need to then find that thing that brings us together. And for me, in this context, it is makeup. But we're all bonded by our passion. I think the Uoma tribe are people who want to see a fairer world. I call myself weirdo in chief, not CEO. I'm the weirdo in chief. I almost invented weird. At best, people call me eccentric, and at worst, they call me weird. And that's good, right? I say we are ethical disruptors. That's who we are as a brand. We're never afraid. We don't do what's popular. We do what's right. Who cares? At least we can go to bed, and my team feel that way. We go to bed and we feel good. The conversations we have in the office, y'all, you don't want to be in an Uoma Beauty office. It is real. It is raw, and that's the beauty of it all.
Girl, we just did your eyes. We did a little bit. We were just chatting away because we're just chatty Cathy's every time her and I get together. But
and you don't want to hear the stories I tell, by the way. They are all traumatized out here.
No, but we love to see it. But girl, this face is beat. The skin, your foundation, your concealer, the powder, my beauty bakery, the contour.
I know.
Which is coming out. Oh,
I know. See, and they say, I mean, black owned. Look at that face of black owned. So we got the beauty bakery under there. We got the Uoma skin going on. Like, it's fire.
Speaking of fire, you caused the fire on the social media with this little movement called Pull Up or Shut Up. What is Pull Up or Shut Up for the kids that don't know, and for the brands that have been watching this whole time?
Yes, Pull Up or Shut Up is an accountability and transparency initiative. You know, the aim of Pull Up or Shut Up is to really close this economic inequality that exists in this country. You know, a lot of people don't actually know, you know, the gap and the disparity. And when we talk about marginalization, what that looks like, you know, black people don't get jobs in this country, you know. And Pull Up or Shut Up was an exercise for consumers to use their power.
It's not exposing, it's just making sure if you're a brand that like wants to talk about inclusivity and diversity,
let's make it real.
Let's share it, and how can we make it better?
Exactly.
And you've been on the phone every day, 36 hours a day.
Exactly, I've been working with these founders.
And it's an Instagram page, and brands are coming forward disclosing how many black employees they have.
Exactly.
And it's really, really bold that you've done this as a founder and a woman in an executive chair. So it's really crazy. They were shook. You called me the day before you
called
posted
you the day
it.
before, and I was like, Patrick, you're gonna pull up for me?
It's not like she held a gun to my head. I was like, post it, Patrick. No. I was more than happy to because I believe in this.
Yes, it's a very important work. It's important work. You know, right now, people don't know this, but in corporate America, there are only 8% of corporate America are black people. We're 13% of the population. When you go into management roles, it's only 3.2%. What does this cause? It causes marginalization. You know, 1 in 3 people in jail are black. There is no surprise for that. You starve people out. You don't give them opportunities. Black businesses don't get investment. People don't know this. Most of your favorite black-owned brands were bootstrapped. Beauty Bakery, she started with what, $5,000? GBS Place, they were all bootstrapped. Only 0.0006% of available funding to businesses go to black female businesses, right? And that's not fair. You know, we have to have an economy where everybody's thriving, you know.
And you know these numbers because of your experience.
Because of my experience, exactly. And it's funny because people look at the death of George Floyd and they don't see how this connects. It all connects. You know, we're an economy that spends so much in law enforcement and spend nothing investing into marginalized communities.
Okay. All right. Now, so for brands that are too scared to reach out because they're scared to pull up and get slapped in the face, that's not your prerogative.
It's not the
Okay. So
point.
what would you
Exactly.
say to them right now if they're a brand
Yes.
or upcoming brands or you're a
Yes.
non-black owned brand? How can you participate, big or small? How can you be a part of the conversation?
For starters, it is all our responsibility. We have to understand, and even for consumers, understand this is a human rights issue. This is not a social, political issue. It's not a drama channel. It's not tea. This is a human rights issue. We need to close the gap, right? And so as a company, you know, what are you ashamed of? Everybody's doing bad. Have you seen the numbers on the Pull Up for Change page? You know, this is not a, hey, I'm doing well and the other's doing bad. Everybody's doing bad. And so what everybody's doing is collectively putting it out there because we know when there's transparency comes accountability. As consumers, you have huge power. Guess what? You ask for cruelty-free. Every product is cruelty-free. If you can fight for animals and animal rights, you can fight for the rights of human beings. And that's why this is so critical. Companies only understand one thing, the bottom line, right? And if you vote with your wallet, and if you say, I can prioritize an eyeshadow palette, I can prioritize human life over an eyeshadow palette, that's the work that we're asking for. It's not so much to ask for, to go, hey, stand for Black lives for real. You know, you say Black lives matter, show us it matters. Show us it matters at work. Show us it matters in our businesses. Show us that it truly matters.
Right.
And it's not like a performative, I'm going to a protest and I come back. Meanwhile, my company don't hire Black people and I'm saying nothing about it, you know?
What's the step one? What's the step one?
Yes, so step one for companies is show up. Step one for consumers is hold companies available. Join us. I mean, our pages Pull Up for Change. All you do is every week we take over brand pages. We go to the comment section and we ask them to pull up. They pull up, they release their numbers, and usually following that release is a commitment, a firm commitment that we can hold them accountable. You know, we've had SELDOM promise that over the next 3 to 5 years, it will move and make sure that Black employees are at population parity. That means at 13% of the population. So we've seen some real action plans. You know, PayPal released that $500 million fund. Adidas committed to 30% of its new hires being, you know, Black employees and Latinx employees. And I know a lot of people go like, oh, shouldn't people be hired by merit? That's the point. That's what this fight is for, because when you see the numbers the way they look, it shows you people are not being hired by merit. You know, the color of a person's skin is determining if you get hired or not. And so this fight is for equality, to make sure that the color of a person's skin does not determine if you're going to be CEO or not. That it doesn't matter, and the best qualified person for the job gets the job. So it is all our fight, is a fight for equality. If you're a brand listening to this and you haven't pulled up, it's very simple. Pull up. Like, yo, we ain't playing. This is not going away.
But also, too, it's investment, too, on the time, taking the time to train. A lot of what I've seen behind the scenes is people bounce from brand to brand. And these are people that are just gaining the experience in years. And yes, that's okay, but let's make room. Because there's room. Because everyone has a point of view. And if the brand is featuring a distinct point of view, let's make room and make time. It's time to also pull up, but also time to educate and train people that may not know.
But that's
just because she may not have their tenured experience, let's have internships, let's have programs, let's have kids that may want to participate but don't know how.
Let's work on like even the corporate culture, which is right now quite toxic for Black people. People don't understand microaggressions that happen. You know, you're a Black girl, you wear your hair to work, everybody gathers around you, touching your hair like you're some sort of freak show. You know, a lot of code of conduct actually forbid braids, actually forbids a lot of Black hairstyles that are just organic to us. You know, there is so much. This thing goes so deep, and that's why we talk about unconscious bias. People are not doing this consciously, but the only way to kill unconscious bias is by conscious change. We need education. We need money going into education. We need companies giving people opportunities. We need mentorships. We need bias training for all employees, and we need every company to have zero tolerance policy to racism, period. Like, there is no other way to actually move forward. So I think it is important that as companies, you're doing the work, because this is not just, that's the beauty of the pull-up challenge. It's not just pull up, let's drag you and whatever. I'm on the phone with these people. You know, I'm talking to people, we're making change,
no,
right?
she isn't. You guys are not seeing it because she's busy on her phone. She got one phone, she's managing this. And
Exactly.
It's not like she's going to do it for clout or for change. Like, she's really
Exactly.
making action.
It is
and I called you in the
change.
middle of this, like, 13-hour day.
Exactly.
So,
it is actual change. This is not, like I say, we're not dragging people here. We're making change, and we're helping companies, because a lot of companies just don't have the answers, because they have an executive team where nobody's of color. So they don't even understand how to fix this. And this is just the first step in terms of transparency and accountability, ensures that they are going to want to do the work, right? And then step 2 is actually doing the work, which is where we come in. And I think as consumers, you know, you have the part that you can play in just keeping this conversation going. You know, cruelty-free started as a whisper, and now is a standard. So we need to keep doing this, and we need to do this for the Black community, because it is critical. We have to close that gap. The average white family in America has an income of $171,000. The average Black family, $17,000. Yo, that's not okay. So we need to do better as a society, and every single person can play a role in making things better for everybody.
oh my God, you are painted for the back row. We're gonna go ahead and throw on some hair from Cat Brim from Hair Are Us, and get some styling by the fabulous Kai St. Lawrence. We'll be right back for the finished look. All right, you guys, this is the finished look. Sharon Chuter.
I know what you think.
What do you think?
I feel fabulous. I feel beautiful. Isn't this the power of makeup?
Yes.
It transforms. Like, it is transformative.
No,
and I feel
you're gorgeous with and without. Your
I
energy
know.
radiates. Guys, this is a full, y'all, this is a full beat face. I'm
Y'all.
the founder of Uoma Beauty, and we had slayed her hair. Miss Cat Brim slayed the hair.
Yep.
And Kai St. Lawrence slayed this gray gown. And we are serving blush, glitter on the eyes, lashes top and bottom, brows, and a beautiful lip, and with a gorgeous, beautiful human being, Sharon. Thank you so much for coming
thanks,
on my
boo.
channel. I'm so
Thank
honored
you
to
so
have had
much.
you.
No, it's been such a pleasure, and honestly, for me, this has been so much fun. It's been good to spend time with you guys. You know, I mean, we're talking about real stuff and also like doing fun stuff, and that's the beauty of beauty.
Yes.
You know, we can do it all. We can save the world while looking fabulous. So,
Of course.
we're all for that.
Cheers to change, and thank you so much. If you guys want to see more videos with us, more of Uoma, support Black businesses, check out the links down below. Follow her, follow Uoma Beauty, and all of the brands that we've supported today in today's video. And I love you guys so much. Remember, makeup is a one size fits all.
One size fits all.
Yep. I love you guys so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye.